Hello, welcome to my 19th podcast. I am here on a slightly dreich day, as we'd say in Scotland. It's overcast, it's a bit rainy, it's just a bit meh. So I'm actually back through in my main room of the house, the front room we call it, because it's got slightly more light. I've got my lamp on as well. And I hope that you can see everything clearly, but it does mean that I'm in the body of the house and there might be people toing and froing. I've got my husband working from home today and I've got my youngest who is dashing about getting ready for college. I've got a bus to catch in about half an hour, so there might be a tiny bit of background noise, and see the window at this side. You might see quick as they go by off to college. So look out for that. Exciting things in this episode, I tell you. I have started so many things. Maybe just do a quick intro before I dive in, because I haven't got anything finished to show you, but I've got a lot of whips. So I've been podcasting for a little while now. I think November I started, so I'm looking forward to a wee anniversary. My name is Marta and I live, like I say, in Scotland. I'm up on the east coast, just north of Dundee, if you know where that is, and I'm a crochet designer. I have been crocheting since about 2014, I think. I'm actually wearing one of my earlier makes, not my own design. This is a virus, it's actually a virus blanket, a very popular pattern, and it's a square and I just wear it double. It does need a bit more length. I was getting fed up. If you've ever made one of these, they start off really quick when you're just doing this center bit, and then it gets bigger and bigger. You know what, I'm gonna have to take it off and show you what I mean. It gets bigger and bigger and the rounds take longer and longer and more yarn. So here it is. I used up scraps actually for most of it, and I just went with what I had. I love the colours and I love wearing this in the autumn, but do you know what I've decided? I'm going to put some tassels on the end, because it would be tricky for me just to add in another round, because I did my own thing here and I ended in a picot border. So I'd either have to go in and undo the picot border, add another round, and then maybe redo the picots on a subsequent round. But I've also thought, you know what, I could just add tassels to each of the corners and that would just make it that teeny bit longer, and just weigh these bits down, give them a bit more length, I suppose. And yeah, it's chilly, definitely need this on today. It's probably okay outside. I think the top temperature today is going to be 15-16 degrees Celsius, so it's not too bad, but in the house it just feels that bit chilly. Haven't put the heating on yet, so this is keeping me warm. I've also got a pair of cotton socks on and a pair of knitted woolly socks on top to keep my toes warm. So that is all the woolly layers. I do love this pattern, definitely recommend it. Oh, I spotted this. It's not an end, I think it's just got caught on something and it's pulled. I can probably work out where it's coming from and ease that little pulled bit back in through the work. It'll be fine. This final edge is from Rusty Ferret yarns. I do remember I sent my husband, I showed him what I'd made so far, and I sent him to Fluff, which is where Rusty Ferret used to have a bricks and mortar shop in Dundee, and I sent him in his lunch break to go and get me some yarn for the final round, and he came back with this colour and I love it. So that is from Rusty Ferret, and you can find Rusty Ferret online. They don't have the shop anymore. I do miss going to their shop. LG was just lovely to talk to. There was always a dog or two in the shop and it was just such a lovely inviting space. But you can still buy her yarns online, and I think they're based up in Aberdeen now, so that's really cool. So all these whips, I have just started so many things. I think only 2 things are here that I spoke about last time. It has been 3 weeks, that's the other thing. This is normally I podcast every 2 weeks. Last week I was just full of the cold, so I didn't. and I'm catching up this week. I did do a quick live on Instagram to show some of the things, so some of them you may have seen. So the first one's on my knee, and more orange. I do love orange, always have. It's always been one of my favourite colours. I think at the moment it's back in the number one spot. Sometimes blue or purple or yellow take over. Green and red, not so much, but blue, purple, yellow and orange are always my top colours, and orange, because it's autumn, is back in the top spot. And this is the Tunisian sampler cowl by the Crochet Project, and it's the first time I have managed to get Tunisian crochet to come out straight. Up till now, for me, it's always come out with kind of this kind of thing going on, and it's not because I miss a stitch at the start and add one in at the end. I don't know if it's to do with not using a big enough hook, not really understanding how that worked, or if it was to do with the way I was using my hook, because I did have a long metal one that I tucked under my arm as if I was knitting, and I don't know if that maybe just totally messed up with my tension. I don't know. Anyway, I was a bit hesitant about starting this course. It's a course by the Crochet Project, which you can find in their hub, which you probably heard me talk about before, because I am an affiliate for that, and I'm only ever an affiliate for things that I love, and I am really loving the hub. It's a lovely space. There are patterns, there's crochet tips and advice, there's videos, there's a wee forum as well, which I must post on. I must pop this up at that actually and go and chat to some people within that. So the link to that is in the description if you're interested, even if you just want to go and have a look. And I do get small commission for that, which all helps my business, helps me buy yarn, create things for you. So it all goes towards me, and I don't mean that. I mean all goes towards my business. So you don't pay any extra is what I think I'm trying to say. It's just my link, and yeah, you know what I mean. You know what affiliates are like. So this is where I've got so far. So each week a little bit of the pattern is released, and this was the first week, the greyish brown colour, and last week I'm up to date. Funnily enough, I shared a top tip. Sorry, there's people and everything outside and cars. It's slightly distracting. I'll try not to look at them. I shared a top tip on my newsletter and in my newsletter and on Instagram last week about if you've got crochet pains, stop. And I think just the way I was using the hook, it's a slightly different technique with Tunisian. You gather up all your stitches along your hook and then you take them off. On the next bit, it's a two-step process, which is also so clearly explained in the video. So maybe it was the videos that have helped me create this lovely straight edge. Tunisian crochet does curl. It's much worse than even knitting for curling, and that's simply because what's on the front is slightly flatter than what's on the back, which is more bumpy and there's more weight to it, so it just causes that curl, but it will block. And in the end, this is actually going to be a cowl, so I imagine that the two ends are going to come together. I think it'll be a bit wider than this. The two ends will come together, and that'll sort that out as well, because the edges don't curl. So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes tomorrow morning. My yarn for this, I have 3 colours, and it's from Lovecrafts, and it is the Willow and Lark 100% superwash wool DK weight. And my hook, I was a bit skeptical about this. It's a, if I hold it here, it's a Knit Pro Symphony, so it's wooden, and it's got that gorgeous kind of marbly thing going on that the Knit Pro Symphony hooks have. I've used these for knitting. Sorry, I've got a very itchy eye. Maybe I got a bit of fluff in it or something. I've used these hooks for knitting. I love these hooks for knitting. And I did notice when I bought it that one of the reviews said it's a bit short for Tunisian, but I still expected it to be maybe to here. I do feel it is a little short. I can just get away with it. You wouldn't want more stitches than this. It does catch. The stitches do hold themselves at the, because it's double hooked. It's got a hook on both ends. So the stitches do catch, and I've only once or twice had one ping off the end, but they're so big it's easy to just, they don't actually unravel, so that's okay. But I would have preferred to see it, you know, here or here. You do get Tunisian hooks with a cable and things, so maybe they're hoping that you'll purchase one of those. Maybe it's because it would snap easier if it was longer, because it is wooden. I'm not sure what the thinking is behind it. It would certainly work for things like if you were doing even Tunisian entrelac, I think you pronounce it. You know, when you've got those squares that go in different directions. I love that. I am so keen to give that a go, because you'd only have, I don't know, up to 10 maybe stitches on your hook for that. And it's 5.5 millimeters on this end and 5 millimeters on that end. You can see there's, you can see it narrows, it tapers, and there's a bit of a bump just there. So I would definitely recommend this if you're doing, there's 36 stitches across this. So I would say 35 stitches would be about the max that you'd want on that for double knitting weight anyway. Okay, anything else I want to say about this? I don't know. Looking forward to seeing what comes next. I think you can see it's unlike the mystery cals which the Crochet Project produce. That for this one you can see the whole cowl, so I do know there's almost like a honeycomb kind of bit coming up, so that does look fun. And so far we've covered the Tunisian simple stitch, which is this one. It kind of looks boxy, and this is Tunisian knit stitch, and there's a bit of changing colours too. So if you want to check that out, the link will be in my bio. I'm gonna just tuck that down beside me there. I'm not going to sit on my hook and snap it. I'm going to put it up there. So when I ordered that from Lovecraft, I'll go on to the other yarn delivery. I ordered these 4. This is King Cole Merino Blend DK, and it's one of my favourite superwash merinos. I use this a lot for baby wear. I've gifted a lot of things in this, and folks do seem to be able to look after it and not shrink it completely in the washing machine, so it's good. It's a good budget price yarn, and it feels nice. I definitely recommend this one. And I'm not currently, it's on hold, but I had been designing a baby cardigan in this yarn, and this will be my final test. I want to test I've written it in 3 sizes. I think there's 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 12, 12 to 18 months, and I want to just test out the 12 to 18 month size because I have jiggled with this pattern so much. I want to test it out in this colour and in the largest size before I send it off to testers. It's a pattern that's been in the pipeline for ages. I'm just wondering, is it over there? No, I've tidied it. I didn't bring the small sample with me. I have mentioned it before. It's called the In the Park cardigan, although I might just change it to Park cardigan, or I might change that altogether. Not sure what my thinking was behind that name. Kind of changed the way I name things a little bit now, so I might change that. And I've got a few exciting things that I'm going to talk about at the end, and as soon as I finish 2 of these whips, I will crack on and start that cardigan. And it's a small child's cardigan, so it will crochet up really quickly. So let's pop them there, and I'll show you the hat, which I have been crocheting. This is my own design, and it is in Wendy Knits Recycled, and I've chosen these 2 colours. It's a super chunky yarn, and it's made from recycled bottles. And apart from the Tiny Flecks, I think the 2% viscose in the Tiny Flecks in this one. If you buy a solid colour, it's 100% recycled bottle. So I've got to here in this hat. I can try it on now because it doesn't look completely stupid on me as it did before when it was kind of like a headband. Just make sure I've got enough give there. Look at me with my scarf and my cozy hat. There, that is it on. I've just got the crown to do, and I'm busy thinking because it's worked. It's worked in the round, and I'm working in 2 colours. It's a tapestry crochet technique, and I have reached the point where I have a single, it might look like double, but that's because that is a puff stitch, and then there's a chain to finish the puff. So basically each stitch is single. So now all of a sudden I am thinking, how do I continue the decreases so that I can carry on in the pattern? Because I'm enjoying having it in this these horizontal stripes, but it's worked in the round. So I just need to have a wee think about that and decide exactly how I'm going to finish it. It's a bit crazy, this hat. It's something slightly different from me, and I can't wait to see it worked in some different colours as well. I probably have enough. I'll have it written in 4 sizes, maybe 5, and I should have enough when I'm finished to do the smallest size and work it the opposite way around, because you'll see I've used way more of the pink just because it's in these bobbles and puffs that use more yarn. So that one, I have written up the band, which starts in rows. So I've written up the headband, and from there I was just needing to really get my head down and crochet and not be distracted by the pattern writing up. So I haven't written any of this section. So I'll need to write that up and then get that to testers once I've decided what on earth I'm going to do to complete the crown. I don't really want to just stick like a solid colour on top. I think that would look ridiculous. And I probably once I try some different ideas, it'll probably come to me how to finish that neatly. Perhaps 2 pinks becoming 1 colour and then a dark would work, so we just miss out 1 dark. I'm thinking aloud here, but yeah. And then I need to work out how to grade it for different sizes. Always the fun part. So I hope you like that one. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm pleased to hear what your thoughts are on this one. And yeah, I'd love to see it worked in some other colours as well. I struggled. I picked this yarn in Wool For You in Aberdeen, and I really struggled choosing colours. I just kept picking. I knew I wanted to make a hat, and I knew I wanted 2 colours, and I just kept picking up multiple ones. I'd never seen it before, and I was just going, oh, it's so nice, it's so nice, it's so nice. So that was back in April for my birthday. I went to Aberdeen on my birthday back in April, and hubby bought this for me, and that's where I'm at with that. So bear with me as I decide what's next for that one. Right, I'll just have a little mouthful of tea. I'm feeling much better. So I didn't podcast last week because I was just full of the cold, and if any of you saw my live, I suddenly developed a really tickly throat and I was having to gulp tea and talk, and yeah, it wasn't too good. So that's why there's been this 3-week break. I am almost back to normal. My head's still a tiny bit fuzzy, still got a bit of tiredness. It wasn't COVID, I tested for that several times. It wasn't COVID, just probably the schools have all gone back here, so probably just a cold that's going around. And today I'm drinking Higher Living organic tea, and the flavour is berry berry, and it's, ooh, can we just see if I can, there. It's a gorgeous autumn berry colour. Lovely. So I was lucky enough to win a giveaway, and the giveaway was run by Crafty Gumnut, who is based in Australia. Kyla is her name. I could not remember her name on that live. Probably brain fog even from being unwell. Anyway, I won the pattern for her Smooch Pooch Rainbow dog. Smooch Pooch Rainbow? Smooch Pooch Rainbow. And if I put that there, get that right around, yeah. So it's a rainbow and it's a dog. We've got legs here. This will be repeated here. The face is 3D. I've just got as far as making 1 panel and sticking some safety eyes in. I'm going to do some details. I'll probably make it quite girly, I think, and give it eyelashes. There's a nose, there's a wee bow for the hair as well. I've made the ears, so it's kind of like spaniel ears, which I like. Let's put them on. I've done things in funny order. I picked the pattern, well, decided I was going to start, here we go, that is going to be so cute, isn't it? I decided I was going to start the pattern at 8 o'clock one evening. It was already almost dark outside. And I had a look in my stash and just found a neutral colour for the doggy bits. And then the next day I started on the rainbow. I think the pattern has you start with the rainbow, but I started with the head and the ears. I've done both panels, like I say. Haven't done the tail yet. I've been using scrap yarn and I have this left. And that's pretty hollow. I can get like probably a couple of fingers inside that. So it's not even like this is a solid ball. To do 2 more legs and a tail. I think it'll probably just do it. But I hope Kyla doesn't mind. I've had to make the legs a bit stumpy. There should be, I think, another 5 rounds in these legs. And I've just had to, I have no more of this. It was given to me, this yarn, as a ball. I hadn't used it until today. So a ball with just that. It was all caked up already. And yeah, it's going to be tight. All these colours are from Stash as well. I think that this one is Paint Box Rainbow 4/8. They're all 4-ply. All the yarns are 4-ply. The orange is, no, the red is the Hipshi's Katona cotton. The orange is the rainbow cotton, and so is the yellow. The green is the same as this one. I think it's Stylecraft bamboo cotton. Can't remember exactly. That all came from one person, and so is the purple and the pink. And the blue is discontinued actually. It's Three Bears Yarns cotton, which is, funnily enough, that's what I designed almost in these colours. The cardigan, which was in Inside Crochet magazine way back in 2017, I think. 2017. I had a cardigan published in Inside Crochet magazine, and that's now available if you can get hold of issue 91 of Inside Crochet magazine, or it's available on Ravelry and Lovecrafts. I haven't put it on my website because it's not size inclusive, and size inclusivity is something that I am going to be looking into. I've been saying that for a while, which is why I haven't been designing large garments, because I really feel that nowadays everything should be size inclusive, and that pattern I think goes extra small to extra large. I think it's in 5 sizes. I would much rather it was in more sizes. So that's why I don't shout about it and it's not on my website. But there you go. If you are within that size range, do check it out. And in the future, I will go back and add in those other sizes. So I've stuffed the end. Next step is to add in the other feet and finish the head, make the wee bow, make the tail, maybe. Do you think I'll have enough? Check out my Instagram and you'll probably see on there whether I make it or not before the next podcast, because I think I'm just going to push on and make this my main project. I tend to do that once a project gets to the almost finished stage. I'm just like, that one's getting all the love until it gets done. So I think I will do that with this one because it is just so cute. So, and it's nearly there, and it's kind of in bits everywhere. So it would be good to get it tidied. I do have a wee bag for it, and it'd be good to get it tidied up and finished. So thank you, Kyla. And if you want to make one yourself, I will put the pattern in the description below. So that is that one. I think we'll share my knitting. So knitting wise, oh, just dropped a ball on the floor. It's okay. Knitting, I am on the Sea Glass Sweater by Wool and Pine Designs. And I think the last podcast I was about here somewhere. So I've done a lot on this, including frogging. I think I did a bit longer than the last podcast, and then I frogged right back to the neckband because I just felt the needles were too tight. Needles were too small, so I moved up a size of needles, and you can see I am using the Knit Pro Symphony. These are 5.5mm needles. They're my mum's. I always get my cable needles from her. She has this big case with all the sizes you could possibly need in different lengths and thicknesses, different brands as well. I don't think maybe she has bought a kit that has all of them, but I know there are some different ones in there. The ones I was using before this I really loved. I think they were Knit Pro Cubics, and they were this square shaped needles. They felt gorgeous to use, and I would definitely, if I'm buying some for myself, which I probably won't because I just go and borrow from my mum, who lives just a 5-minute walk away, so and she keeps them all in that case, because you know what cable needles are like. They are kind of tricky to store, so she has them all. Oh, the strap's falling down. So I'll take off this and I will try on this to let you see. I have to try it on carefully because the cable length is just a little bit snug for the number of stitches, so it is slightly bunched up. So if I pull all the yarn to the front, come on, behave. Yeah. So at the moment I am just short of the armpits. I had a good try on of it the other day. I put it on to, oh, where are these needles? Oh, we've lost a few stitches. Bear with me. Bad needles. I did try it. I shifted it to little 3mm needles, I think they were, and but they're huge. They were 130 centimeters or 140 centimeters or something. Again, my mum's, and I tried it on with them just because that would release this bunching up and give me a better idea of the length. And I decided I needed to do about 8 more rounds, and I've done 5 of those 8, so I am almost at the armpit. I'm looking forward to that, getting there and splitting for the sleeves. Have I ever done a top? I don't think I've ever done a top down jumper like this. No, I've knitted a bottom up jumper and a bottom up cardigan, and I've knitted a cardigan that was in sort of 2 L-shaped panels and a T-shaped panel. So I think they were knitted kind of across in big blocks. So this is my first top down, and oh, it is cozy. It's really cozy, because it's knitted in, if I come in a bit, it's knitted in 1x1 colour work knitting, and so you're just changing colour every stitch. And then for to change, this is a scrappy one, and to change, I've obviously used all these different scraps. If I show you on the inside, I am using the magic knot method. There's a couple of longer ends, but I'm using the magic knot method to, this is coming off again. Do you know what? I'm going to take it off because I am fiddling with it. It's going to bug me. I don't want to lose stitches. I haven't worked on it for a few days, so those stitches should be, you know, kind of, they should hold. I'm not too worried about it. This one was getting all my love. And then suddenly Smooch Pooch has won the show and stolen my heart. Yeah, it's a cute project. I do love a scrappy project. So Jenna Sargent .techedit is currently running the Scrappy Project Mal on Instagram, and you can make anything you like as long as you're using scrappy yarn. So technically both of those count for that, although the sea glass sweater is the one that I cast on the start date, 1st of September. And that pattern is by Wool and Pine Designs, and definitely recommend that. Oh, my light just went off. Oh, maybe my laptop lost power. Let's see. It's got a bit brighter outside. Are we okay without it? Yeah, I think it suddenly lost power. Oh well, that is that. It's not too bad. It is slightly brighter. Yeah. I have one more whip. And I am finally joining in with my own Cal. I've kept a project bag aside for myself. I have wound my yarn and I have made a big start on my first sock. So I have a little stitch marker there by Labours of Love Crochet. Pardon me. And I am making a extra large sock in width or in circumference, but I'm making the length for a medium sock. So it's great that you can just switch up and create the exact size that you want for that. So I've got to here, I am more than halfway down the foot, and then I'll be the toe. So obviously it's a cuff down sock. Starts up here, and then the leg. There's that fully formed heel and the gusset. There. So on Instagram I have a lovely chat group and I'm so pleased I've set that up. There are maybe about 20 people in that group that I wanted to be in, that bought the kit or the patterns as a standalone, and it's just such a lovely space for people to share photos and share. There's been a big thread of funny stories about the varying foot sizes and how our feet sizes have changed over the years, and some people have got different size feet or different size ankles, and it's been quite funny. So it's been a lovely community as well. So I'm really pleased. Hopefully some long-standing friendships will have developed from that as well. So yeah, finally. It took me a while to get started. I think I'd just been so absorbed in this project, which I started to think about in sort of February of this year, and then around April I kind of solidified my ideas and I reached out to Katie, who is Katie Birdie Designs, and she came up with this gorgeous illustration for me, which became the picture for my bags. I got the bags printed and the illustration went to Liv at the yarn shed, and Liv dyed up, have I got it the right way around? Yes I do. Liv dyed up this yarn based on the illustration and I'm just so happy with it. I just gave her the freedom to go ahead and do what she wanted based on the illustration, and this is what she came up with, and from there I designed the socks. So it's all come together, and then just at the end I invited my friend Ruth over in Northern Ireland to create stitch markers that went with it, and we went for a bee and a flower. There's various colours of flower as well, and these are from Ruth and they are super cute, and it's just such a lovely touch. Also in the kit is, I'm not sponsored by Knit Pro and there are no affiliate links for Knit Pro, but I will shout out about them because I like their crochet hooks and I like their knitting needles, and now their Tunisian hooks as well. This one is a metal hook with a ergonomic plastic handle and it's one of my favourites, so that's why I picked it for the kit. And there's another few surprises in there as well. If you have a look on Instagram, other folks have displayed what those surprises are, so you could have a look if you wanted to see. And I'm shouting about this today, probably for the last time until May, because they are going to be coming off my website. They'll no longer be on the website come 11:59 tomorrow, which is Friday the 23rd. You'll see my son go past. There he goes. Oh, the dog's going to move. Jazzy, it's okay. Alex is going off. Jazz, bye-bye. Good girl. Bye-bye. Good girl. That's her saying goodbye to him. I know. Sad times. They've gone off to college for the day. You come back up. Good girl. Good girl. Sorry about that. I think she was in a big sleep and then she just heard the door and thought it might be somebody coming in. There. Oh, I had a wee spot of bother with her at the weekend. I ended up having to take her to out of hours on Sunday evening because she had a UTI. She was just going in and out the house, needing to do a wee but not doing one, and she was making little cry noises. And Oh, the poor wee thing. So I ended up taking her to out of hours. I had to rope my dad in as well because out of hours was in the next town. Our vet is linked to another two. It's not linked, it's the same practice, but they have a practice in our town and the two neighbouring towns either side. And we don't have a car, and it was Sunday night. I did have a quick look at trains because that would have got us in quickly. I wouldn't have been able to get a bus because I didn't want any little puddles on the bus. That would not be good. But a train, I thought, you know, I can probably get her to, it's only 15 minutes or something on the train. I could probably have got her to hold it in 15 minutes. In the end, I got hold of my dad and he very kindly took us because he loves her too. And she got some medicine, she got antibiotics and anti-inflammatories, and they started working very quickly. I think she had a decent night's sleep, which we certainly wouldn't have got if we hadn't taken her to out of hours. So I'm glad we did that. She's a wee treasure. And if you are signed up to my mailing list tomorrow morning, so I'm recording this podcast, I wish I knew what date it was. Do you know what? I'm going to ask Alexa. Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Thursday the 22nd of September.
Thursday 22nd. There, sorry. I'm a bit clueless today because with the Queen's funeral on Monday, it's just altered my routine for the whole week. So I have just lost track of what days it is. So today is Thursday 22nd of September. Sorry if I set off everyone's Alexas asking, I've just said the name again. Asking that. And so tomorrow morning, Friday 23rd, I am sending an email out to my list that will have sneak peeks of my Scrappy Blanket 3. Good girl. Scrappy Blanket 3 is going to be coming out next week. Yesterday I took the final photos, the cover photos if you like. We just took Jazz for a little walk and there are photos of that in the email. So if you haven't signed up to my mailing list yet, then hop on that. I've scheduled it to go out at 7 AM UK time tomorrow morning, and you'll see those photos. And there are crochet tips. There are I call it the Friday chit chat or the crochet chit chat, and it comes out on Friday 7 AM every week. And there's a crochet tip in it, and there's also a gallery where I share one of your photos. So if you make anything following my patterns, you can either tag me on social media, hashtag Marta Mitchell Designs, or you can just email me if you are not on social media, and I can share in that. My email address will be in the description as well. So that's a new thing. Issue 3 is tomorrow, and those photos will be in it. So have I shared everything? I'll pop that over there. I think I have. Yeah, it has been 3 weeks, so it feels like I've done loads. I did finish the Scrappy Blanket as well, and it's not with me. I knew there was something else as I was laying it all out. I knew there was something else, but I guess I finished it last week, so it feels like ages ago. So you'll have to see those photos tomorrow. I can't wait to share that pattern with you. It'll be, oh, and that's what I was saying. It'll be out next week. It's with testers just now. 3 people are testing it for me. 2 of them have tested it already because it's a 1-line repeat, would you believe? So it's going to be a really nice, mindful project. A 1-line repeat, and so basically I just needed them to do a wee swatch, and I knew that once, if you'd done a few rows, it would be fine. One of the testers has actually decided to make a full-size blanket with it, which is fab, and another one hasn't quite started yet, but that is fine. I know it won't take them long, and it's a tester that I have used multiple times in the past, so I know that they will come through. I am not stressing about that at all, and we will get that pattern up and out next week. I'm going to put it as a free pattern on my blog, and I'm going to make that the most basic form of the pattern. So if you want to make it, it will be free, but if you want to go a deeper dive, you will need to buy the PDF from either my website or Ravelry or Lovecrafts, and that PDF will have all the different sizes for and how many chains to make and how many rows to do for various sizes, and it will also give you how to make it in different yarn thicknesses. So it will just be the DK version on my blog, but the PDF will contain the 4-ply, the DK, the Aran weight and the chunky. There will also be a video tutorial inside the PDF, a link to the video tutorial in the PDF that will take you to a private video on my YouTube channel, and I'll also put the chart in the PDF as well. So I'm going to make it available on 2 levels, which I haven't done with the pattern before, so I'm going to see how this goes. I know a lot of designers do this. So if you're just wanting the basics, it will be free on the blog, and if you want a bit more, that you need to pay for it. So I'm hoping that's a win-win for everyone. We'll see how that goes. Always need to try things, see what works for my business. I've got fluff on me. Not sure what's that from. I daren't put that shawl around me again because it's going to catch the lip balm and I am going to get more. So I think that is all the things that I needed to talk about, and I hope you're all well. I hope you're having fun crocheting, knitting, being creative, whatever it is you're up to. You can leave me a comment, let me know what you're doing, and let me know what your thoughts are on my podcast, what you liked and what you didn't like. It's all feedback and it all helps me to grow my channel. I didn't check before I came on, but yesterday I think I was at 298 subscribers. So if you'd like to subscribe, bump me over that 300 mark, that would be amazing. Also, my last podcast got my highest number of views ever, so I am amazed by that. I think 260, I think, on the last time I looked. So I am really, really pleased about that. Obviously, you guys are liking it, and I certainly enjoy producing them. If you're new to the channel, you'll notice that I just do it all in one cut. You know, some people might stop because the dog barked. Just for time, I just shoot through, talk, and don't worry too much about getting words wrong. So I just put it on. It's up there. Because it takes time. You know, if I could go in and edit it, yes I could, and it would make it nicer, and I'd maybe be able to put photos like the scrappy blanket that I didn't bring along. I will put that in the little thumbnail instead. So if you are new to this channel, you will see that scrappy blanket in the thumbnail. And was there something else I was going to say there about being new to the channel? Can't remember. I think that was it. Oh, that was it. So if you've ever considered starting a crochet podcast, then I totally recommend you do it. The first few, yeah, they will be agony. You will, well, certainly from my experience, you'll agonize over words, what you said, what you didn't say, the way you sound. You'll probably hate seeing it back. But, you know, once you've done a few, it's just like chatting away to a friend. That's how I think about it, and I hope that's the way you guys see it as well. And so I would definitely recommend that you, if you've got stuff, even just whips, you don't even need to be a crochet designer, you might just be somebody who loves to crochet things, because people like to see how other people interpret patterns, what they think of yarns, that kind of thing. And it was Claudia at Crochet Luna who encouraged me to go ahead and start podcasting. She just did a podcast and kind of like what I just said there, said, you know, if you're thinking about it, go on, do it. And I think that was just the push I needed to go and do it. And I'm glad I did, because I am liking being on YouTube and growing what I have over there. I've been putting some shorts up as well. Some of them have done really well, which is crazy. I think there's 1.2k views on one of my shorts. So I'm just busy patting the dog here. She's woken up. So yeah, I am happy about that, happy about the direction that YouTube is going in. So that is definitely all my news. I will sign off here, and I hope to see you in another couple of weeks. Bye.